Welcome to our Tech Talk. So, Tilina, good news for Sri Lankans. So this has been let's go into the backstory, right? So there was a time before computers where when you want to type something, what people used to do is you get your secretary into your room, you tell her what you want, right? So you basically dictate the letter and she would record it and go in front of a typewriter, listen to what she has recorded, and then they type. So there used to be a huge industry where this information get across. Especially in the medical sector, this has happened because when what happens is like when you are prescribing medication to a patient, what they do is they record it, and they have a separate set of people who would, put this into writing.
And also there's this special language for it, right?
Yeah, the shorthand. So, but in other countries, what they used to do is they were actually recording it and they were listening to the tape and they were typing it in. So the next step was voice recognition came in, and then most of the time, even though you record it at that time, it get automatically transcribed into words, but you get someone to edit it out.
So I remember way back when Word came up with voice recognition. It was
pretty bad
for Sri Lankans. I mean, with our accent and everything.
It never worked, right? So all these softwares are meant and built for Western markets where the accent is different, right? And then with time goes by, English improved a lot in terms of how it is and how it works and all that. But then again, as our native languages like Tamil always had a better, in terms of, because India is there and it's a bigger country than us.
The
market share is bigger. So, but Sri Lanka has always been on the back foot, right? So the Sinhala was one of the, because I think we are the only country, we don't have to think, we are the only country who speak and write Sinhala. So we are what? Our economy is what?
Negligible.
Right? So, but good news for today, I think. If you have an Android phone, if you are lucky enough to use Gboard. So Gboard is a Google keyboard where it has a lot of features. I think we spoke about this in a previous episode as well. So it not only does help you to type in Sinhala, it also helps you to type in Singlish. So where you type something in Singlish and it will translate it to Sinhala letters, right? Basically Unicode. Or else you can even do a translation while you're typing. So you type something in Sinhala and it would get translated into Japanese or whatever other languages, right? Even to English.
So this has basically broken the barrier between languages, right? You can talk with whoever you want.
So basically, so if you have Hangouts, if you're having a conversation with let's say a party in China, in Chinese, you can still do this in real time where the translation happens, right? But again, it's in text. So today, lucky for us, now you can basically say what you want and Google will type it for you.
In Sinhala?
In Sinhala. So let's say Mama Gedara Yana, you all you have to say is Mama Gedara Yana, it will automatically type it and you can send it. So this will be really good in a car. I don't know how well it would work, but in a quiet environment like, a home or an office, I mean, we tested it today and it was flawless. I mean, flawless in the sense it works to a far better level than what we would expect, right? There are little lining here and there to be done, but in terms of what it can achieve is amazing.
But cool thing about the new technologies, they learn like by using it so much, right? So this will definitely improve over time.
We will move this into our next step because now it's all about AI, artificial intelligence, and these systems will learn itself. So this is a good thing, and now I was even thinking about the sad news is if you have an iOS device, this is yet to be implemented.
The thing is iOS already has Gboard. I mean, iOS got Gboard before Android, but the features are coming a bit slow, maybe because the vetting process of iOS definitely, but they must be prioritizing Android obviously at this point, so they want to move. I mean, they have 120 languages in Android, but on iOS it's very limited right now. Also, they have a separate Gboard app and they also have the Google app, right? So the both have same functionality. So you don't need Gboard app to install separately if you already have Google app running.
Yes. So another thing is still we don't have the offline feature for language recognition for Sinhala. So you have to have your phone connected to internet connection because it happens on the cloud.
So for some languages you can download the language.
For example, English you don't have to have internet connection; it will work on your phone itself. But for Sinhala, for the time being, it goes to the cloud and it's coming back.
Right.
So I was thinking, I mean, now I was even testing it out with certain. Let's say I was playing some, conversations in Sinhala on videos and putting it in front of a computer.
Yeah.
It works up to like 70 to 75%.
Right.
Because it depends on how you talk to each other and what level of noise is there.
Right.
But in terms of us having a conversation, if the connection is good, it has been. I mean, it was quite good.
Right.
So if you are lucky, but we tested with few phones still in. I think mine it worked on mine, which I have Android 6, and then we tested on one of our colleagues Chatura's phone, which was a Huawei, and he had Android 5.
Yeah. What I heard was Kalinga, these language things are like region locked sometimes and manufacturer locked.
Yeah.
So some models may not support all the languages. So that will definitely improve.
So Gboard is the thing to try out because especially for Sinhala type, it's much easier. And
they have features like suggesting
it
words.
Suggests and it learns. I mean, it learns the way you type. Right now, mine has come to a point where it actually knows what I'm going to say the next.
Right.
So I type my first word and the second one automatically get predicted.
You just have to type it, right?
So it's 75% accurate now.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing to try out. So we were talking about AI. So everything is now it's either AI or AR or. So AI is getting into a point. I mean, there has been certain cases where IBM Watson was, playing chess and winning, and these are like really mathematical level games, right? Chess is like you have fixed board and you have fixed set of moves, and it's easier to predict. But now, with the founder of PayPal, founder of
SpaceX and
Tesla, Elon Musk has had a startup called OpenAI.
Yeah.
It has been really quiet for a very long time. All of a sudden, few days back, they came out.
Yeah.
And playing Dota.
Yeah. So Dota 2 international tournament was like last week. So in this tournament, they showcased a bot.
Yeah.
So this bot can. It's not entirely Dota 2, but it's a limited version of Dota 2. So this bot has learned over 2 weeks about how to like defeat pro players basically.
Yeah. So they basically dominated that. What's his name? I forgot his name.
But Dendi.
So he was the best Dota player, right?
He was, yeah.
He was. Now it's OpenAI.
I mean, in this year he doesn't have a team, sadly, but he definitely is a better player.
Yeah. So we have to take a small break right now. We'll be back after this. Welcome back. So before the break, we were talking about how AI works and how AI was used to play a complex game, right?
Yeah. So the cool thing about this is, Kalinga, this is not like giving instructions to the bot, right? So the bot learns from zero by playing with other players how they are going to like gain an advantage over the opponent.
So if you go explain this, for example, if the chess playing robot, it was actually someone taught him the moves. He knows the moves that he can do, and it's always a set amount of moves, right?
Yeah.
So it's mathematically you can calculate it and say.
You can like calculate. You can like predict the moves and you can calculate the outcome and.
Yeah. And also you can make it learn by watching others. So if let's say you have a certain set of your moves, right? So then you can actually predict what moves to be done, and if a previous person has done this move, what will happen.
Yeah.
But in a complex game like Dota, it's not that simple.
Yeah. I mean, for a average human pro player, it takes years to like be in that level, right?
Yeah.
So they have achieved this over 2 weeks time.
Yeah.
I mean, they have their neural network, so they can learn what they can learn in 2 weeks can be a lifetime for a player.
Yeah. So that's the scary part, right?
Yeah.
Where the Skynet is all about. So even Elon Musk said Mark Zuckerberg doesn't have a clue about AI, and there has been argument over this. But AI is something to be afraid of at a certain level. At the same time, it's amazing, right?
Yeah.
So this silicon,
what they have like achieved even in past years, astonishing.
Amazing. So AI is growing rapidly, and now everything, I mean, almost even down to the like a web, when you visit a website, the information you see is also now done by AI.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually learns how the people behave on a website. Based on those behaviors, it predicts and gives you a certain set of information, right?
Yeah.
So it's all about now machine learning.
Yeah.
So AI is the next step. I think it's, in a way, it's good as well. For example, resolving complex mathematical equations, resolving complex problems.
Yeah.
So human,
and maybe at the level where you can do surgeries.
Yeah.
Or things like that.
Even diagnosing a
Yeah.
patient, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, humans take long time to learn. I mean, us.
Yeah.
That's how it is, right? For us to read a book, it takes.
Yeah. To gain the experience.
Yeah.
In it.
For a machine, it's seconds.
Yeah.
Let's say you have like 4,000 page document.
Yeah.
It takes only seconds for a machine to read it.
Yeah.
So to gain vast amount of knowledge, it's quite simple, and the access to it is, well, basically unlimited. So you're only limited by the processing power and the storage you have. Apart from that, I think there are a lot of applications, especially even when it comes to the self-driving cars. I think that's one of the reasons I think Musk is involved in this, where then you can actually, like, rather than depending on sensors and doing these predictions, mathematical prediction, you can go into this intelligent predictions, right? Based on, you can actually, for example, if you're driving in Sri Lanka, if you know a tuk is putting the signal light to the right, we always know that he's not going to go into the right lane, he might go into the left lane, where that's where the AI comes in, right?
Yeah.
So you can take intelligent decisions and understand, oh, this is a three-wheeler, this guy might not do what he's actually indicating he's doing, right?
Yeah.
So those are the things that AI can achieve where normal logical things can't, right?
Yeah.
So logically we can program a system saying, hey, if you see the the car in front, if it's the blinker is set to right, he's going to go into the right lane, right?
Yeah.
That's the logical thing.
Yeah.
But where the AI comes in, it will do a smart, like a human like decision making. Okay, he's trying to go into the right lane, is he really going into the right lane? So those kind of predictions are where AI is more important.
Yeah.
And I think even Thilam was saying operations, it's vastly, I mean, even down to, I think, flying a plane. Now we have autopilots, right, in flights, but what happens is autopilot is not an intelligent system. It operates based on the number of input it gets and the logic within the system.
But
it
in
doesn't
disaster,
learn.
it can't do much.
It can't react to certain things. I mean, where like a human can, right? That's where always the human element is there, where the human can make the decision for the machine.
Yeah. So if we go back to the data thing, Kalinga, they promise they are going to like do way better next year, and they are going to like come up with a 5 versus 5 scenario next year. So let's see how it turns out.
So what really worries me is this best player said he doesn't even want to go into second round. So he said like, look, I'm giving up.
Yeah. Because over these 2 weeks, so many has tried. I mean, all the pro players in the tournament has tried and they have failed.
Yeah.
So let's see how it turns around next year.
Yeah.
If we talk a bit about the tournament, so Team Liquid has won the tournament and they have won over $10 million.
So
huge amount of money.
Where are those guys are from?
So the Team Liquid guys are from several countries in the Europe. One is from Lebanon, one is from like Finland, one is from Germany, one is from Jordan.
Yeah. So parents, if your kids are playing a lot of games and if you're wondering what are you doing, well, he might be a pro player. I don't
This
get-
tournament only the winner gets over $10 million US. Crazy amount of money.
So, I mean, if you get into that pro round of things, I mean,
Yeah.
the possibilities are endless,
Yeah.
right? So, even any profession, right? If you're really good at, doesn't matter what you do, if you're really, really good at what you're doing,
Yeah.
I mean, that's your career.
Mhm.
It can be a lot of things, even playing, sitting in front of a computer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are certain people who are paid to get watch TV.
Right.
You know, people who write reviews, watch movies. Those guys, as a hobby, they watch TV.
Yeah. Even if you take services like Twitch, Kalinga,
Yeah.
so many players are streaming what they're playing, right?
Yeah,
There
and
are
there's an audience to watch.
Yeah.
that. So
millions of people watch it.
yeah, we love to see. That's where the reality TV comes in, right? We love to see what others are doing there rather than we are doing it.
Yeah.
That's,
We are
that's-
lazy like that, right?
we are like that. So we had to take a small break right now. After this break, we're going to talk about the internet ranking and where we are. See you after this. Welcome back. So just like the Lindalanga Sangame, the iPhone rumor never ends, right?
Yeah, so people are already predicting so many things
Yeah.
before the launch next month. So
Yes.
September is the month they are going to announce this iPhone because it's the 10th anniversary. People are so much hyped.
Will
about
there be a
this.
gold iPhone?
I think there's a bluish gold one this time, Kalika. It looks a bit copper color. I don't know. We can't trust anything as
I
in
won't buy it
right?
unless it's really expensive. So I mean that's another question I have, Tilina. iPhone pricing varies based on the color, right?
Mhm.
Wow.
So they have make exclusivity somewhat of a time. I mean,
So there was a red iPhone before, right? That was meant to be for cancer awareness.
yeah,
right?
charity. AIDS,
Charity.
yeah.
So that's fine. I mean, apart from that, I mean, especially
They have the
Sri-
rose gold one. It's a bit expensive. And
Yeah.
it's kind of calling a limited editions, right? Car manufacturers are
Yeah,
also doing it,
limited edition, but there's a million of it.
so yeah, so if we move to the rumor part, so I think at this point it's kind of certain that they are going to get rid of the thumb fingerprint authentication. So they are going to rely on their facial recognition at this point because they are going to spot the 3D kind of authentication this time, calling. So no one is going to fool it with a picture or something.
Well, that's again where the AI comes in, right?
Yeah.
So how face recognition work is it doesn't actually recognize the face, but it takes some mathematical measurements, right?
Yeah, it will take multiple points of authentication and see how your
So how hard is it to type a pin? I mean, do you think the face unlocking will be faster? What if I in
yeah, it's definitely, I feel like it's going to be inconvenient. I mean, you have to literally look at the phone, right?
and that means the camera is always on, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of creepy.
We are hearing that the front camera is going to be also super good this time.
So it has to be, right? So if
Yeah.
it's going into this face recognition, it has to be the front camera. So
And
then-
also, Kalika, the crazy thing is if they are going to give up fingerprint, they have to enable Apple Pay with the face recognition also, right? Let's see how it.
So
Still,
un-
so many are so much spectacle
so
about.
Android wise, face recognition is a fail.
Yeah,
Doesn't work.
yeah,
So well, it works, but if you don't mind, getting your phone unlocked by another millions of people, it's fine. But I mean, when it comes to Apple Pay, where your money is getting involved,
yeah.
I mean, well, it's kind of tricky. I mean, these are personal opinions, right?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't trust my. One thing is, I wouldn't like that camera to be on all the time unless I see a notification For example, if you take this tab, right, the one I have,
Yeah.
so you see a little bit of a red stick on.
Yeah.
So that's basically I have covered the camera out.
Yeah.
Why I did that was I was like little worried when I was shutting it down and switching it on. The camera indicator light comes in. Just wondering why do you have to switch on your camera when you're switching off and on, right? So I kind of put a stick on just so. Mic mic is fine, right? So I mean you might say something and it's there. So with a phone, you never get this indication whether the application is accessing your back camera, whether the application is accessing your front camera. On a computer, you always see a light when the webcam get activated. Right?
Yes.
At least you feel to a certain extent that you know when your camera is activated, right? But in a phone where you keep it even at sensitive places like when you go to the bathroom, when you go to like it's there, right? So in that case, if I don't know whether you had to press a button for this unlock to work with the face recognition to kick in.
I think it will on by detecting the tilt.
Yeah.
So you now have the wake on tilt on iPhone, right? So they might use the same scenario.
I wouldn't use it because one thing is like Tilna said, it's an inconvenience because let's say you're on a bus, let's say you're on a darker location, this might not work, right?
Yeah.
So again, you have to fall back into a second level of authentication. I like the thumbprint reader. I mean, if they want to make it, I mean, now it's a trend where you have to, edge to edge screen, right? That's the trend, right?
Yeah, I think the main challenge was to embed the thumbprint in the screen. So it looks like they have failed to do this.
So you can put it in the back, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you're holding a phone, at least if you have it on your back where the camera or where like little sensor, that might do the trick. Maybe, their designers might decide, no, you have to like this.
I think it's better to wait till the September announcement at this point without going in.
Sorry, I'm against this Facebook thingy. I mean, face recognition. I mean, we even have HR system now. HRM system at office does face recognition. It works. It's fine. I mean, that's the environment we have control over where the device, we know what it is and where it goes to.
But when you are giving the data to a third party, they can obviously listen and record whatever you are doing, right?
But in terms of security and security expert, a lot of people say iPhones are more safer than Android devices. So that's obviously we have to agree upon because if you have an iPhone, that's more secure than an Android. Two reasons for it. One is Android is scattered. So you might have software, Android might be rock solid, but there might be, other vulnerabilities within, let's say the hardware on that phone or the firmware that running for the GSM systems, there might be something. Right?
And they have also given a lot of freedom to the manufacturers to do whatever they want.
And they put a lot of stuff into a phone. There might be an application that's vulnerable. There are a lot of issues. And the second thing is, so Google has a policy where they ship out security patches, right? So now a phone is like a computer. So similarly, you get Windows update or your Mac update, your let's say Linux update, you get another software updates into phones. Google release these updates monthly. So if you're lucky enough to have one of those Google Pixel phones, you're fine. You get all the security patches. But if you're not, you might get it, you might not get it. So now I don't get it. So I have a phone which is 2 years old. I'm not entitled for updates, right? I'm not getting any security patches. This is where the trick comes in when you're having an Android phone.
Yeah, if they have any 0 days, then you're screwed, right?
Yeah. So basically, I mean, so again, that's a questionable thing, how secure your phone should be, right? Well, whether it's easy to hack into, what can it be done, what's the hack is, what these things are. So all these are questionable, even for us. Like us knowing what it is and us knowing what is going to happen, right? But for a certain person, it's a person who just uses a phone as a tool. You don't know, right? So the good thing about iOS devices is whether you like it or not, Apple push it in. They will put the update and at a point they will say, no, you're not getting anything, your phone is out. So that's where Apple has the control over the hardware they use.
Yeah.
They have control over the software they put in,
Yeah.
and it's a limited set of devices.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing, I think, in terms of.
Yeah.
If,
They have a lot of, I mean, more than 50% users always on the latest software update.
yeah. Where Android, I don't know, even 10%, 20?
Yeah, I don't think so.
So the only phone that get regular software update is the Pixel, Google Pixel phones, right?
The official phone.
The official phone, and they are not cheap, and a lot of people don't like it because they are not the trendiest phones to have, right?
Yeah.
Even though they do have good hardware.
Yeah.
But would you buy one? That's the biggest question we have. So we are running out of time, but just to go into this cryptocurrency, guess how much today Bitcoin is?
Over 4,000.
Over 4,000 US dollars. I mean, like a month ago it was less than 3,000, right?
Yeah.
So even at that point, if you bought some Bitcoins,
Yeah.
they have doubled your.
Yeah.
Well, might not be too late if you want to buy some Bitcoin. Yeah. So that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us. So if you have any comments, you can email us on arttechtalk@takaslk.com or else visit the Art TV Facebook page and drop us a message. Thank you for joining us. Have a pleasant week.